The thing that I loved the most about my experience was the hands-on experiences in the schools. We went to so many schools, about 20 of them, and like looking back, I can't believe we went to all of those schools. And I just love the warmth of the Chilean people, of the host families, of the staff in Chile that made us feel like we were their children. And I don't think I could have asked for a better program. It was challenging. It was really intense. But if you are prepared to do the work, you will be just fine. The excursions were absolutely wonderful. The first place we went to was Valparaiso, and that's about an hour and a half away from Santiago. And we spent about 2 nights there, but I mean, it was so full and rich of culture. I wish we could have stayed longer. And then we went to Temuco, and we spent time with the indigenous Mapuche people. And I had a wonderful host family, and being there helped me to realize that family is very important to the Mapuche people, and it's also very important to me. And I vowed that when I got home, I just cherish my family a lot more, and now I hold on to my parents more than ever before. I really love how they value family in Temuco. And then, of course, we went to Buenos Aires, Argentina, which was great. And I must say, when getting there, I just felt like it was an extension of Chile. It wasn't too hard to adjust. I was like, oh, we're still in Chile? Oh, no, not really. But it was a great experience. Once again, the host families and just the people that surrounded us made these excursions just some of the best parts of our trip. Buenos Aires is just a place that's rich in culture. We learned about the dictatorship, not as much in detail as Chile's dictatorship, but it's fascinating that Chile had 3,000 people that disappeared during the dictatorship, and Argentina had 30,000. And it's clear up until this day, Argentina still remembers the pain that happened during that dictatorship. And we went to Madres de la Plaza de Mayo, and we watched these mothers of children who had disappeared years ago. Every Thursday they march for about a half an hour and have a meeting, and we were able to join in that march. And while I was in the march, I was like, I can't believe I'm actually doing this. This is something I read about, and now I'm actually here. I love the homestay aspect of this study abroad program. It helps you to become more integrated with the culture and not get too lost in a foreign place. The homestay experience was great because we got to share the experience of these individuals, and I'm sure it's really difficult to just have a stranger come into your home and all of a sudden you're responsible for them and they're your child, but they did a wonderful job. And I just love this aspect of the program. I'm really glad that I didn't have to be at a university on campus. I mean, I'm sure that would have been great too, but being with the homestays, it forces you to speak Spanish. It forces you to share a bit of your culture, forces cultural exchange, which I love. And I just felt really comfortable overall. Our classes mainly consisted of going to many schools, listening to many lectures, and it flowed. It wasn't like, okay, sit down, we're going to do this, this, and this. It was like, it flowed. We're going to visit these schools, you're going to listen to these lectures, and these are your classes. And it was great. At first it took me a while because I was like, I'm used to being in a classroom, sitting down, listening to someone, not really doing any hands-on work, waiting for the professor to explain things to me, speaking with students, sharing our culture. even teaching them a little bit of English. And oh yes, the one class that was set out in a conventional organized way that I was used to was our Spanish class, of course. And we had that at the Alberto Hurtado University. And it was, I couldn't ask for better Spanish teachers. It was just so much fun, energetic. We sang songs to help us with our Spanish vocabulary and grammar. Overall, our classes were great. We learned so much, especially pertaining to the education system in Chile. Like, my mind is saturated with that information now. And after you leave these classes, you'll still be thinking, you know, how is Chile's education system doing? You're not just going to be like, yeah, I learned that, and you're not just going to leave it alone. For someone who's interested in SIT, I would tell them, be prepared to be exposed to a wealth of knowledge, of culture, of kindness, of loving people, and also be prepared to work, but don't work so hard that you forget to smell the roses. One thing that Roberta at SIT told me was that, yes, you have work to do, but it's not all about work. At the end of the day, you know, academics are important, but if you are not a well-rounded, whole, kind person, what can you really do with what you've learned? And he also encouraged me to, you know, take a stand in the world, make a difference in whatever however I can. Okay, I would tell an African American that Chileans are going to be very fascinated with your hair. At the time, I had braids in, and my host mom was always like, "Oh, look at her braids; they're so pretty." And also, I was asked many times, like, if I was from the Dominican Republic or Colombia or Brazil. And when I said I was from the United States, people would be like, "No way." So based on your skin color, they're going to think that you're from a certain part of the world. And until they hear your accent, they're not really going to believe that you're from the United States, probably. And I would say I really had no problems. Just that a lot of people would stare at me sometimes, but I could understand, because if you've never seen, you know, an African American before, you're going to be like, "Oh, you know, who's that?" But overall, I was treated really well.